Hello everybody, my name is Sam and welcome back to English Sponge. Today we are in the National Zoo here in Santiago de Chile, and we are going to be asking the question, should zoos still exist? At the moment I am a little bit on the fence about this one. I see some reasons why zoos should exist, and I also see some reasons why they shouldn't exist. So today we're going to be taking a look around the zoo and seeing if we think they should still exist or not. As always, if you enjoy comprehensible input content, make sure to check out the English Sponge website, where we have over 700 comprehensible input videos ready for you guys to watch right now. So let's get into the video. So guys, I have come to the park on a Wednesday morning. So it is very quiet here. I basically have the whole place to myself. But to be completely honest with you, I have some pretty mixed feelings so far. It's undoubtedly cool. It's undoubtedly quite an interesting place. I've already seen some animals that I hadn't seen before, which of course is always very cool. But, and this is a big but, some of these enclosures are really depressing. Some of these enclosures are really small. They're not very big. They don't have lots of stuff in them. There's not lots of stuff to do for the animals. So yeah, I feel a bit conflicted at the start. I'm gonna give it some more time. I'm gonna continue walking around, gathering first impressions. But yeah, the real honest truth so far is it has been a little bit more upsetting than anything else. Now, I do want to say this is not always the case, because, for example, behind me we have, I believe, a llama, maybe something else, but yes, we have a guanaco, which I think in English is a llama or an alpaca. Yeah, llama. Okay. So some of the animals have pretty cool enclosures. This one's really big, really alpine. It quite matches its natural habitat pretty well. But yeah, some of them are small. The animals seem happy, at least. They seem pretty content so far. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep walking around, sort of gathering some more impressions, and to see if I spot anything else interesting. So this is exactly what I was talking about before, where here we have an absolutely beautiful zebra. Really, really cool to be able to stand here and see a zebra in front of me, but the enclosure is just a bit depressing, isn't it, guys? I mean, it's not very big. I know zebras love to run. They're a little bit like horses. It's not really got any features. There's just a bucket where the zebra is eating some hay. A little bit of water here, but yeah, not very much water in that pool. And just generally quite a small little space for this guy. I feel like I don't know who the zebra is. I don't know where he has come from. But yeah, it's just a little bit upsetting to see such a beautiful animal, an animal that, you know, loves to run, loves to stretch his legs, be trapped in such a small space like this. So yeah. So here behind me we have a sign that is explaining probably one of the biggest reasons why you would support a zoo. Now, that sign said that this zoo has rescued over 1,000 animals. It has rescued over 1,000 animals from from illegal trafficking, from injuries, from problems out in nature. And I guess that's where we have the best sort of, one of the best arguments, I guess, in support of a zoo. Here you see a lion behind me. That's cool. And that is that zoos do a lot of work out in nature. Zoos are very, very good for doing conservation work. Conservation work is when people invest money and they do some work in order to try and help nature, try and help conserve nature. Of course, in today's age, nature is unfortunately not doing so well with climate change, with the loss of habitats, with all of these problems. So a really strong thing supporting zoos like this is that these zoos do a lot of work in the conservation area. They work very, very hard to try and conserve some of these natural spaces. Yeah, I think that's a good idea because, of course, as somebody who loves animals, I think we should do everything we can to try and conserve our natural spaces. So, whilst I said before, some of the enclosures were definitely a little bit sad, some of them are quite cool as well. Here, if you can see, we have a family of lemurs huddling together under a little bit of a hot lamp. I think they have a hot lamp in there, so they're keeping warm in the chilly winter morning. This enclosure is very cool visually. It looks visually very cool. It has an island with some water surrounding it. In fact, there are two little islands connected by a bridge. And in the middle, there's lots of space for the lemurs to climb, to run, spaces for them to shelter like they are doing now. I have to say, I've been to a few zoos in my life, and this is definitely the most unique. This is a zoo on a hill. So it's very hilly. There are lots of stairs, lots of inclines, lots of declines. But, oh, out comes the lemur. You can see him climbing. I do think lemurs are so beautiful. They are one of the most beautiful animals in the world, and they are native to Madagascar. You can only find them in the wild in Madagascar. So, should they be here in Chile? Oh, I'll let you guys decide the answer to that one. And here we have some tortoises. I really like tortoises. I think they are really, really cool. They live to be really old and they are very slow. But I think that's super cool and I'm so happy that I get to see some tortoises right now. Look at him. Oh, he is so adorable. That's so lovely. But here, there's a sign that says, "Don't touch me." Of course, I know not to touch the tortoises, but sometimes, I'm guessing, children might try to touch them. The fact that there is a sign that says, "Don't touch me," means some children have probably been touching the tortoises, which I definitely think is a bad thing, and it's definitely not a good thing for the animals. So, probably another reason why zoos shouldn't exist. So, walking around, and I did think of another good thing about these zoos, and that is there are lots of kids here. Zoos can be really good for education. Zoos allow children to see animals that they wouldn't be able to see otherwise. They allow children to see animals and to hopefully inspire them. Sometimes being able to see these animals will really be inspirational for children. It will give them really, really good reasons to care about nature. You know, if you never see animals, if you never get to see things like this in real life, why would you care if nature is dying? Why would you care if those things go extinct? So it gives a really good opportunity for some education, I believe, to help kids sort of see these animals in real life, develop a connection with them, and hopefully, just hopefully, care more about the environment. So outside of the elephant enclosure, I decided to ask one of the I don't know how you would call it, one of the guides, I guess, one of the park guides, what he thought about the animals and if he believes that they were happy here or not. And of course, somebody working at the zoo is not going to tell me, no, the animals aren't happy. He told me that they give lots and lots of stimulation, they give the animals lots of challenges to do every day, some physical challenges, some mental challenges. And he said many of the animals are quite happy because they don't have to worry about predators. They don't have to worry so much about being attacked or eaten by another animal, which I guess is a really good point. And it's something that I hadn't considered before. I hadn't considered that the animals here are safe from predators. That's probably going to make them a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more happy. But the more I spend time here, the more I look around, the more I understand that yes, there are lots and lots of reasons for zoos to exist today. They're great for conservation work, they're great for education. The animals are generally happy. They are generally happy being here. They have people who look after them, they get food every day. So there are lots of things here telling me that zoos should exist. No matter what, zoos should exist. And if we want to ensure that we preserve these animals for the next generations, for our kids to see, for their kids to see, it's a very loud monkey. Then spaces like this are really, really important. However, whilst I'm here, I just can't shake this feeling. There is just a feeling within me that this is wrong, that animals should not be kept in enclosed spaces like this. Perhaps I'm a hypocrite. Perhaps I am, perhaps I'm not making sense. Perhaps I'm answering a logical question emotionally. But I see these animals trapped in cages and they're like prisoners. Now, what would the alternative be, Sam? Because the truth is, most of these animals were bred in captivity. Most of these animals they came from other zoos or they were rescued and they could not be put back into the wild because it would simply be too dangerous for them. So it is a really tough one for me because the logic is saying that this zoo is providing, oh, let me sit down, I'm tired. The logic is telling me that this zoo is doing so many good things. And perhaps the best thing about this zoo here in Santiago is that it is free. You do not have to pay to enter this zoo, which I think is really cool because it means no matter what, people get the same access to something like this. People get the same access to education. People get the same access to seeing these animals. If you're a child from a poor family or a child from a rich family, it doesn't matter because you can come to this zoo and you can, in fact, see the animals. So, this has been a bit of a tough one for me. I expected to come here and to land on a pretty certain answer. This zoo is not super big. It's definitely very different from all the other zoos I have been to. But I don't know. I just feel a bit sad, I guess. I love animals a lot. I love seeing animals. And I would love to have pets, right? I had a hamster that, surprise, surprise, I kept in a little enclosure. So, am I any better? Probably not. Probably not. So, I guess there we have it, guys. The answer might be a little bit more complicated than we first thought. Should zoos exist? Well, maybe. And maybe not. So guys, I guess there we have it for today's video. I came here expecting to find an answer. I came here expecting to answer the question, should zoos still exist? But the answer we have found today is, I don't know. This isn't the conclusion to the video that I expected. I think that with any problem like this, with any conversation, it is quite complicated. And I think there are lots of really, really good things supporting zoos. But I also think there are lots of reasons not to support zoos. Some of the enclosures here at the park are absolutely phenomenal. But some of the others are, to be honest with you, really sad, quite upsetting. Some of the animals look pretty happy. Some of the animals don't look pretty happy. Of course, zoos do great conservation work. They're really good for education, but I don't know. There's just an emotional feeling with me here. And sometimes emotions are more important than logic. They're more important than reasons. So, I think if I had to choose, I would say no. I don't think zoos should exist in today's world. But I'm completely understanding of why they do. So guys, please let me know in the comments down below what you think. Should zoos still exist? Have you found the Santiago or Chile National Zoo to be a cool place? Yeah, this has been slightly different to what I had expected. As always, if you do enjoy these videos, don't forget to check out the English Sponge website, where we have lots more comprehensible input videos. And if you're not ready to leave YouTube yet, check out this B1 playlist right up here. I think you are going to really enjoy it. My name is Sam, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.